Alright, what's up, ASM? Welcome to Jak II. Today, I am gonna thrill Praxis. Alright, so we're gonna get the run started in just a moment, but I believe we have a donation incentive regarding the language of the game. I'm also gonna take off these sunnies. How did we do?
So Japanese was the winning language for that. We had a last-minute snipe donation of $20 that cleared it out for Japanese.
Oh, nice. Who was that from?
The entire country of, and I think you know the rest.
Yes, the entire country of Japan. Thank you, entire country of Japan. It was definitely them. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do subtitle language in Nihongo and language in Nihongo. And I'm just going to check that sound one more time. Awesome. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get the game started. So, we'll just do it off the screen here. On go, we'll start the timer. So 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, welcome to Jak II. I am stylonide, and with me I have my co-commentator, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hello, it's me, HS Blue.
The Jak I guy.
Yeah.
Alright, and speaking of Jak I, this is Jak I runner's favourite part of the run, because it's just all Jak I movement. So just watching your spacing, using your roll jumps, high jumps. I am so not used to hearing voices. And there's Japanese Daxter. I love that guy. He's got a manic energy about him. But yeah, we're doing our just an extended there. Holy crap, he's way more distracting than I remember. I love it. We have a boosted off this moving platform, which is jank as heck. We missed it. We'll try it again. So yeah, Jak II. How does it differ from Jak I? The answer is quite a lot. So instead of doing a collectathon styled game, we're actually going to be doing a mission based game in an open world, kind of like GTA. I'm going to wait for this platform to give me a better movement pattern. Lovely. We move over this computer terminal on the left to make the rest of the level load. I prefer not falling into bottomless black voids, although that may change shortly. So we're going to continue making our way out of prison here. So basically at the end of Jak I, he was convicted of major felonies for vandalism and destruction of lurker property and put in prison for 2 years. That was the real story. And about 2,000 years passed, which is why everything's so futuristic. Jak just ages really well. That was a bit scuffed, but we're there. Alright, but prison was no match for our boy Jak. We're out. Listen to Daxter popping off. He's having a great time. I am having a great time. Alright, so this is Dark Jak, coming up in a moment. He's a major part of the story. Here he is. Take it in while you can, because you're never going to see him again. We don't use him in the run. So, what we're going to do here, we want to kill all these Crimson Guards. We're going to be just juggling them in a pattern here. Punch, spin, basically. And when the fight ends, we just spin the analog stick a little bit, give it a wiggle. Hang on, got to take care of that guy. And that actually makes the transformation slightly faster. Alright, so now we're in the open world, and this is where we're going to see things really open up and change from Jak I. So we want to grab these zoomers. As you can see, we now have rockets on them, because rockets are cool. Very important design decision by Naughty Dog. And, open world. Why are the small zoomers good? Well, first of all, they're small, so they're more navigable, they're faster, and we can do little hops with them. They hop pretty much the best. And these hops are important, because like some points in Jak I, there's, just walls that lose collision after a certain height. So there are these barriers throughout the city. If you've ever played Grand Theft Auto, it's kind of like how they close the bridges. And we can skip these barriers by hitting a checkpoint trigger and then dying. The game respawns us past that checkpoint trigger. So that's red barrier skip. And next up, we're going to do yellow barrier skip. I'd just like to pay respects to the fact that we're not hearing Mr. Krabs as Baron Praxis. Makes me a little bit sad. But hey, we got Japanese Praxis. So we're doing another hop, and falling down. That's a very important element of the trick. Doing another hop, getting out of bounds here. And there's a bit of solid geometry out here we can walk on. And now we're just going to enter the bazaar. So we've just gone around the yellow barrier. And if you think I'm done, I'm not done yet. There's even more out of bounds. Alright, so this is probably one of the biggest discoveries in the game. This is sort of the equivalent to your, I guess, like FCS or LTS kind of stuff in Jak I. It's like a huge skip for the game, skips a lot of content. So as part of this game's structure, Jak II sort of performs progress checks when you hit certain like missions and triggers. So when we get into Mars Tomb here, the game basically thinks, oh, you're in Mars Tomb. Okay, you're at this point in the story now. I'm going to just disregard all these beginner missions. But first we got to get in there. So I'm going to basically set myself up. Dual boosted. Nice, that's looking good. We've hit the trigger, we die, we respawn, and we're in. But we're not done yet. There's more out of bounds. We can get up in here, get the world's worst camera I've ever seen. Alright, we're going to do that again. And this is getting us past the door into Mars Tomb, and we're going to do another sort of progress warp, doing something called left tomb skip. So there are 2 tombs we got to do some like challenges in, these trials of manhood, to basically prove that you can get the precursor stone, which is a big story device. I'm trying to get water rolls here. I'm stubborn. We got 2. 2's good enough. We've shown off water rolls. I hate water rolls. We'll never see them again from this point forward. Good riddance. Alright. So there's even more geometry that you can kind of land on here, and there's just no collision. Lovely. Now we're under the level. Alright. So from this point, we can get underneath this door. We don't want to walk too far forward, or else we touch the deadly Ribena, which makes a return from Jak I. And we get past this wall, move the camera around. Got a lousy camera there, but just going in first person a couple times helps out. And from here, we can basically do a roll jump out of bounds into the left tomb and trigger the boulder chase segment. And after that boulder chase, Jak's going to have a lot of useful equipment for the run. So there we go. Awesome, we are in. There's left tomb skip. Alright, just motor mouthing here. We can relax a little. This is boulder chase, which quickly turns into a run through the average Australian home when it turns into a massive redback. I'm just going to be hitting square a bunch. You want to stay as far ahead of this thing as possible because the boulder and the spider rubber band to you, so the further they are from you, the faster they go. So we just want to go quick. And I'm just spamming square because it's quick and fast and nice. While I'm doing this, do we have any donations, any reminders about what we're doing for the event?
Yeah, so we are Oz Speedruns, and today we're raising money for Beyond Blue, a charity that is all about destigmatizing mental health and helping people achieve their best thems.
Love to see it. And remember, guys, you can type !donate in the chat, or go to ozspeedruns.com. You can see all the incentives, all the good stuff. I highly recommend pretty much all the incentives, if I'm being honest. My personal pick is World's Hardest Game. I definitely want to see that run unlocked, so get donating, guys. Remember to write those incentives. So as you can see, I was pretty quick there. Daxter just kind of splats on the ground. Alright, so now we get the hoverboard, or the jetboard, sorry. And it's pretty handy. Anyone who's played the game casually knows it's pretty zippy. Little known fact, you can also fly with it like this. So this is the hover. And what I'm doing is I'm cancelling a trick, a horizontal trick into a vertical trick, and then repeatedly hitting the trick button, which just makes me gain height. And it's really handy. It's why I love this game so much. We're going to get out of bounds here, and then we're going to get back in bounds, once again using the hover. This is going to be a recurring trend of the the run, just hover over your problems. And now we have tombstones. I'm going to go a little quiet for this one. Okay, that is deeper down. Alright, awesome. Reminder, real Jak II chads memorize their tombstones. Alrighty, so we're just punching out a pattern here. So this is one of 6 patterns. I'm getting on the hoverboard after every hit because it stops Jak from sort of standing still and listening to the chime. And there you go, memorize tombstones. You absolutely love to see it. No IMGA link for me, no printouts. Awesome. So that's one of the buttons hit. Now we need to hit the other button. It's very far away, very difficult to get to. Alright, so anyways, I'm hitting the button now. And we're about to fight Praxis. We're going to do a checkpoint warp into him. Just using the restart mission function. So basically the game has flagged a checkpoint for us to be at the boss fight. So we just send ourselves there. It's faster than going across the tomb. Now Praxis. Praxis is not really... Oh man, he's got some energy. Sounds like a Sekiro boss. So we want to take care of his little robots in this first phase with the shotgun. And then he's going to send out these bombs. Now, you might notice he's got like 3 segments on his health bar. Each segment is 4 hits. But if you get him with a 5th, the health bar goes kind of wonky for a moment. And there we go, we got a 5. But you can sort of see it just looks like 1 hit has happened. But when it gets to the next phase and we hit him again, it's going to count for 2. It kind of just catches up. So what we're going to try to do is hit him with 4 in this phase, so the final phase only takes 3 hits. And we want to do that because you can actually kind of manip what Praxis does. There's a bit of RNG going on, but we can influence what happens. So we just wait for him to send out some bombs. Straight chillin'. I do this, there's several ways to tackle these bombs. I just do it in a consistent, at least a consistent setup for me, so awesome, we got 4. So now we're just gonna watch where he comes from. So if he approaches from the left initially, next time he comes from the right. So that was from the left. And we basically, see how he does that laser attack? We don't like that. We want to skip the laser attack. Ideally, we would get him to go to... Nice, got the hit. And I'm just going to do a cheeky one here. Alright. I don't know which direction he's going to come from. I lost track. I'm going to go on the left and hope I get him. But yeah, so there you go. There was a little bit of that was actually a really good third phase praxis. Really good praxis in general, actually. I'm really happy with that. That was faster than I could explain things. So there you go. Mr. Krabs has been manipped. Now we're just going to hover on out of here, but we're going to throw in a spin for good measure, because we all know it's not a Jak II run if you're not flexing your hover skills. Shoutouts to the no OJ homies, of which Blue is one of them.
We get it, you have the hoverboard.
But it's so much fun, dude! Alright, so you can actually get through this door a little ahead of time and get something called Ghost Town. You're going to be seeing that later on, but it's not a big deal when you miss that one. So, once again, this is sort of our main mode of transportation now. It's actually, when I'm performing these spins like this, I am traveling faster than a zoomer, as long as I maintain that speed. Just trying to get a really cool hover there. We can basically hover over that building, but I'm just going to do some little Tony Hawk grinds instead.
Oh my...
You'll love to see it. So yeah, lots of fun city movement in this game. If you enjoy, like, your Tony Hawk, it's not exactly the same trick system, but it definitely scratches that itch. Lots of fun. So yeah, we're moving into a sort of checkpoint trigger here, death abuse, and away we go. Back into it. So what we're going to do now, our friends got sent straight to jail while playing Monopoly in Jak I. This was seen at the beginning of the game, so we're going to just take our just visiting card, and we're going to hand it to our friends in jail. And casually, this was quite a, I'd say it was a fairly difficult mission for a lot of people. Casually, you have to fight a lot of Crimson Guards, you have to go through a lot of obstacle courses. Jak can only take 4 hits before death in this game, pretty much the same as Jak I. And the checkpoints can be rather punishing, which is a big reputation this game has. It's, I believe they have a term for it called pleb filter. But anyways, we're going to make our way into the prison, and we're going to show just how easy we can make this mission in a speedrun. So we're going to just hover over those buildings a little bit faster. Lovely. So, since we have the jetboard, we're just going to go ahead, set ourselves up with a couple of hops, and off we go. We are just flying over it all. Lovely. First try too. You'll love to see it. And then I'm just going to let go, fall back in bounds. Fantastic. And we've just skipped basically everything. It's like this big U shape that you have to move in. And we've just gone to the end. So then right here, there's a bit of janky collision. You can double jump, spin, and you're out. And then I'm just going to uppercut, and we're in, and we're done. And that is Rescue Friends. You'll love it. That's actually a wonderful mission to have go smoothly. This is kind of exciting. This is actually better than my PB at the moment, I believe. So let's see if I keep it up. Anyways, we're moving on from one of the most fun missions to get right, and it's very fast-paced, to one of the most boring ones. This is Sewer Escort coming up. I'm very interested to hear what these guys sound like in Japanese. But what we can do to load this level a little earlier is go through this sign, move the camera in, and oh, I didn't quite clear it. Unfortunate. Alright, basically I would have cleared that if I was playing better, and we would get to the door for the Sewer Escort, and it would basically open immediately because we would have triggered that area to kind of load up for us. And that's what those airlocks, those doors are kind of doing when they rotate around for a bit. They're just hiding loads. So we'll see what it does here. There we go. Then we bring the camera in, because just like in Jak I, the camera can be used to trigger quite a few things, and by restarting with the camera in like that, it's basically telling the game, hey, spawn us down below, so I don't have to, pardon me, ride a really slow elevator. And here we are. So this mission is really boring. There's one optimization skip thingo that I'll explain, and then after that we can probably do some more event promotion and donations, but we'll get through that first. So what we can do, we can actually run ahead here and take out these metalheads. I'm doing a rather poor job, but there we go. You just punch them, shotgun them, and you're good. There we go. So I listen for that voice line, because that kind of just tells me, like, okay, they know I'm there, I can move forward. If I move too far away from these guys in either direction, they will just instantly die. So it's really bad for the run. Don't want that. You can lose minutes if you mess up this mission towards the end. So this is a bit of RNG. These metalheads can come from one of 3 points, and that was the worst point that they're coming from right there. We want to avoid them spawning there, but to my knowledge, there isn't really a manip for it. You just kind of get the hand you're dealt, but they've been dealt with. So basically, coming up here, I'm setting myself up on this debris. I'm going to damage abuse off of this explosion and run ahead and kill 2 metalheads, and that stops an ambush phase that makes me backtrack. And that's it, really. That's it for sewers. The rest is don't take damage. Use the blue gun when you can. Oh, this may not. I'm going to listen out for that. Okay, we're good. Yeah, if we got any donations, if you'd like to reiterate what we're doing here at Oz Speedruns, Benji, please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. I think I'll shout out some of our cool incentives that are coming up.
By all means.
So, first of all, we are Oz Speedruns, and we're here raising money today for Beyond Blue. But we have some exciting incentives open at the moment that you can donate your money towards to influence what's going on in the marathon. So, obviously, at the end, our final bonus game incentive is HS Blue running the world's hardest game, and we still have a fair ways to go on that, but several days. So make sure you don't miss out on that. But closing much sooner, we have Echo Junior's name choice coming up. We have an ending choice for Silent Hill. And just tomorrow we have Fantasy Zone, which is a bonus game, which we're already halfway towards making. And if we get a chance to see more games, we always want to see more games. So make sure you get your donations in to help that out. You can either click the link in chat or go to donate.ozspeedruns.com.
Love it. And I will say shout-outs to Pitchy, the Fantasy Zone runner. He had a really entertaining Castlevania run at his first ASM performance. Really cool guy, so I do advise donating for that. And dog ending game for Silent Hill 2. Alright, so we're at the end of the mission here. As you can see, I've switched to the blue gun, the Vulcan Fury. Basically, we want to triple tap each metalhead, but I kind of just freestyle it. I don't really worry too much if my ammo optimization isn't the greatest. What's more important is just making sure the guys are protected. As you can see, I kind of just spin the camera around just to be sure. You can also look at their health bars, but I have a peanut brain, so I forget to look at the top left of the screen. So, I just spin around. And then once we get to the blaster, we just do the jump, and then on landing R1, and that gets us some burst shots, and we're done. What I want to do at the end here, you want to be very careful. I'm going to bump this wall, because I don't want to get too far ahead of these guys, or else disaster strikes, and they can just fall down and die. So, we don't like that. And then we just wait, and we're done. We're done with one of the worst missions in the game, so that's just lovely to see. We're going to mission warp out of here, which takes us back to the beginning of sewers, and we're going to make our way to a more interesting mission. There's also a nice little thing you can do with the hover here. There are up and down hovers. The up one is the one that makes like the little noise that you can hear, but when you do a down hover, it makes no noise. I actually found it's really comfy to do a down hover there, which I didn't get. Lets you land a little earlier and get a nice speed boost. You can direct a little better than if you do an up hover. But maybe next time. Alright, so now we're just doing some hub movement. Back to our boy Torn. We're going to check in with the homies, see how they're doing. Hopefully alright. Then we're going to take down some spider bots with Jak's legs of steel. You might be wondering, well, what makes them legs of steel? We're going up against these big robots, and by spinning them with Jak's legs and shooting his gun, we're hitting them multiple times per spin, basically. So it's actually, most of the damage I'm going to be doing on these robots in a moment is coming from Jak's spin attack, more so than from the blaster. And what I'm going to go for here, there's a really neat hover that you can get. Oh, I didn't get it. Alright. You basically go straight across the buildings there to the furthest away bombot, and then you can just sort of weave a straight line through the rest of the city. And then here we are, we're just spinning these things, shooting the absolute daylights out of them, and then just go into the next one. So this was the bombot we would have taken out first, if we got ourselves the lovely hover. Thankfully we've made pretty good time to it anyways. And just spinning the life out of them. Now you can actually take a zoomer here to the last bombot. It is, I believe, slightly faster if you have optimal jetboard movement, so I'm going to shoot for that. Something cool about the zoomer, though, is a strat I won't be using. You can actually jump off the zoomer into the bombot and have it explode just for a bit of free damage, which always looks pretty cool. Pretty easy to do as well if you're playing the game casually. It's a nice thing to do. Alright, so main reason having jetboard is advantageous here is there's this big building, and we can just go around it if we remember to hover, but that's alright. So we're just going to take the pedestrian route, hang out with the citizens of Haven, who definitely like Jak, with all the punching and kicking I end up accidentally doing to them. See, look at that guy, he's just loving life. Right next to a robot about to explode. All 5 seconds of his life. Alright, so what we're looking to do now is grab ourselves a zoomer. There's a zoomer. Sorry, I'm like, I haven't listened to these JP voices very much. I'm loving this. So we're heading to the stadium. Were you about to say something, Benji? Or Blue?
No, sorry, that's my dad.
Oh, okay. Yo, HS dad. Alright. So we're making our way to the stadium here. There's one little cool trick we do near the stadium to get in. And what's coming up is something called lap skips. I will probably need just a little bit of focus for this one. Composure is key with lap skips, more so than anything else. But before that, we have the entry to the stadium. Now, there's the normal route under the archway, but there's also just this handy holographic wall installed by the Haven security. So we just go through here on our zoomer, and that puts us pretty much on a straight line to the garage. And we have the zoomer explode in our face. You'd love to see it. Alright. To quickly explain lap skips, I'm going to be setting myself up on a wall, angling myself, hopping, boosting, and then trying to maintain an angle in the air. And it cuts off some time off of our laps, and you want to grab boosts and watch the AI. The AI can clothesline you, so it's composure is very much key here. Alright, so we got actually bad boosts here. AI's kind of screwing me. Basically, we would jump across here.
Oh my.
Alright, we've got ourselves a boost. So here is the lap skip, hopefully. I'm going to just let this guy pass. I really don't like him. He's too aggressive for me. That's why we're just going to go straight ahead of him with a lap skip. Alrighty, now we're on track. So the big one to look out for here is probably lap 3 or 4. That's when I start to intersect with the races. We spam the air hop there to get around that corner, and we go for another. Oh boy. And that's a failed lap skip. It's important to demonstrate the risk of lap skips.
Yeah, now we get more shots of the lap skip because they're like super cool.
Well, I'll be honest, that lap 1, it was cursed. I'll give it one more
that
shot
was-
and then we'll go for something a little safer. There you go, that's what you like to see. Alright. Bit of a knock.
Ooh.
Okay. As you can see on lap 3, we got some racers intersecting with us. They can take shortcuts across here and hit you, so it's a little scary. I'm just gonna let this guy, I'm gonna give him some space. Alright, nearly there. And as Daxter says in English, now that's one handsome winner. Anyways, so we've done 5 for 5 lap skips. Let's move on.
That was amazing.
Very fun to get. Very risky to get, admittedly, but very fun. Big dopamine hits right now. Alright. There's actually a strat here I'm going to do. Shoutouts to Scarletra. I'm not sure if they found this, but they showed this strat to me. Really nice little hover we can do here, instead of taking a zoomer. We go over this building, which triggers the rest of the city to load. And we just hover, hover, hover. And there's something I've been doing called free falls, which is I mash X on the way down. and you can sort of direct yourself after hovering up into the sky. Lovely. Alright, and what we're going to do here, we're going to be taking our sunglasses off and hitting a load trigger. We're going to zoom a boost ourselves. Oh, that was a little scuffed. I blame the sunnies. Look, you got to get the style points, right? So we're going to... That might have just made it. We basically want to get above these windows and then pull the camera in. Seems like we got it. Lovely. And that puts us all the way out of the canals zone. And we're going to do another one here in the big sort of palace area. By passing over that little bit of grey floor, we get the camera in a position for another checkpoint, so we just restart mission. Sorry, my glasses were bothering me. You gotta take important time loss to make sure your glasses are folded up. So anyways, we're now here out in front of Mars' tomb. We're gonna try to get a cheeky hover there. That's alright. Try that one again. So this is a really nice hover to get, so it's worth kind of taking that second attempt. This is going to get us to the Peacemaker. And that's the final gun we need in Jak's loadout. There we go. It'll be a bit of a slow one, but we're on our way. And that's that little, like, bluish icon on the radar there. We're just cutting a straight line across the whole city into the Peacemaker. And I don't know how I feel about this angle. Alright, awesome. So we can pause with select, and that gives the game sort of time to catch up and make sure areas load. So that's just like a little safety thing you can do there. I'm also, speaking of safety, going to grab a little bit of extra ammo than I normally would. We will be stocking up on ammo later on. Having Peacemaker ammo is pretty much important to every runner, whether you use it on the final boss or a different boss. I will be using it on the different boss. Speaking of hovers, we can get one into the Hip Hog Heaven Saloon right here, because it has no ceiling on the outside. And we just fly on in. And now, since Lap Skips was already uncontrollably Chad, we're gonna just continue to put Errol in his place here. We do a little bit of ringless, I think, to really flex on this guy. So I'm going through these rings, very similar to the ones in Precursor Basin in Jak I. As you can see, now we can actually see where we're going, because we've got a radar. Isn't that wonderful? So when this mission, with this race, it has a finish line, and that finish line is active no matter what, whether we grab all the rings or not. But what triggers a fail state is if you go too far away from the race, or if you miss a ring and then hit a ring after it. Now the rings sort of, as you can see, I'm getting a little boost from them, very handy, but they sort of take you on a longer path in some parts. So what I'm going to be going to do is avoiding them and cutting my own sort of racing line. And now I am not allowed to touch a ring. It's very important I do not touch a ring, or else we start the race again. So what we're going to be doing is just giving them a wide berth, and when they try to direct us around on some wild goose chase, we're just going to ignore it. We're just going to take our own little path straight past it. So here's a good example on our way to the canals area right here. It wants us to go to the right, and it leads us all the way around. We can just go through to the left and cut through everything, which is very nice. I'm also just going to slow up and just really avoid that ring. This is also a bit of a scary spot. It's a very tight squeeze, so it's easy to hit a ring here. So again, like, we're going to go fast, but we're going to be methodical about it. We're not going to hurry ourselves too much. Awesome. And that's kind of the scary part done.
Nice.
And as you can see here, they want us to jump down into the water. I don't feel like doing that yet. This is real. This is a Sig Millionaire grind set racing right here. True Sigma male racing. Alright. So we're going to cut across, get up out of the water once again, and make our way to the end. As you can see, Errol the beta male is absolutely coping way behind us. He's having a bad time. And as I was saying, finish line's active, and there you go. Lovely. Alright,
It was
and...
actually going through the walls if you're too far behind him, which is very funny.
Yeah, he kind of does same thing Sonic does in SA1, where, like, he just starts cheating blatantly. He's coping. Errol is coping so hard, boys. Mission accomplished. Alright. Oh, we got a solid peepo. There are some pedestrians are solid and will cause collisions with, like, your Zuma or your jetboard, and some will basically... It looks like they dive out of the way, but really they just don't have a hitbox. So something I actually didn't mention in that race that I wanted to do is just avoid pedestrians as much as possible. So what we're doing now is getting the life seed from Samos's hut, which is just a wreck now. It's down in Deadtown. And there's this whole, like, mech section. I don't know what it is with platformers and mech sections, but they always make mechs seem like the most uncool things around. It's actually tragic. But, you know, we're going to avoid it. We're just going to fly on our hoverboard. And we're just going to cut a line straight to the end here. You won't be able to see Samos's hut, but the trigger is active. So what I'm going to do is just jump and do a buffered flip there. And takes a moment, loads the hut, plays the cutscene. We skip the cutscene. Can't believe it, we got the cutscene skip. Very technical, you gotta press triangle to skip cutscenes in this game. Really hard. Now we're gonna go for Ghost Town, which is pretty fun. This may be a little too far to the right. Let's see how we do. Basically, we want to get back into Haven here and hit a trigger. And basically, when we go in this way, the game kind of prioritizes just loading the geometry. It's not really been told to load pedestrians. So we can just jetboard around to our heart's content. And what I'm going to do here is head for a death abuse spot, which will send us forward a little bit, and also respawn the pedestrians we all love to see. Oh. You know what? Bugger that. I'm not going to change my spacing for that hover. We're actually just going to keep not spawning the pedestrians. So what that does is that would sort of shoot me forward a little bit to around about here. And then we would do the same death abuse we did earlier in the run. Actually... because there's no geometry there, I don't trust that. I'm gonna take old boy movement for a sec here. I don't want to risk a bad death warp because I've never tried that. We're not experimenting. Yep. So we get up here, and now we're in the past the red barrier, and we're just gonna send ourselves into the bazaar. So very similar to the movement we took earlier in the game, except now we're just flying over it instead of going around out of bounds. We're gonna move forward to about here. We're trying to load Onan's tent. So, hopefully it's loaded. There it is. We're going to jump in. She's going to give us a peace sign. Peace. And we're going to leave. Alright, awesome. Good talk. So, what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be making our way to give Samos the life seed, which is going to make him the crotchety old man we all know and love from Jak I. Oh, sorry, all know and hate. I
was going to say...
if I can get a hover off. The famous last words of any Jak II runner. Lovely, there you go. So what we're doing here, we're just doing the same bread and butter that you do throughout Haven City. Is just abusing these checkpoints to kind of just get where we need to go and cut our time down. We're going to be doing that again to get to the Haven Forest spawn point very shortly. There's a point here where we can just go out of bounds once again. Get a hover off after we get some speed. Lovely. Do some down hovers for the boys. For the fans. Alright. And then we respawn. And now we're doing... give Samos rare candy to evolve. Basically. So we're entering Haven Forest. Something kind of funny here. You would think it might be fast for me to hover up to this platform. We're better off just taking the teleporter, like anyone else. We're just going to hop on in. Camera's going to whip up here. And we'll make our way over.
What a beautiful level, I must say.
Yeah, it's a really nice throwback to some of the environments you see in Jak I. It's got some nice precursor ruins that we're going to ignore now, because we don't touch those in any percent.
Damn.
So, I mentioned earlier about the Peacemaker ammo being important and there being ammo farming. This is the ammo farming mission. It's kind of like Sewers. I find this one kind of boring, but it's just important. You just got to kind of suck it up and do it. So, here we go. So I'll be prioritizing using melee attacks on some Crimson Guard in a moment here. And there will be some flying ones. So sort of not overusing our guns ammo is important. It works on a priority system. So it tries to give us red and yellow, and then blue, and then Peacemaker. So Peacemaker's the rarest, but once you've filled everything, you're guaranteed Peacemaker drops. These crates have set ammo, so we're just going to grab all of those. And I usually just hold my gun out so I have an ammo count. So it looks like we need 7 blue, and then we're good to go. Or Peacemaker. So there's set spawns by Crimson Guard here. And we're going to try to pick up what ammo we can, and then we're going to rush to protect Samos, because we have Crimson Guard coming from the other way. Awesome. They didn't touch him. And then we're going to have aerial guards right here. Awesome. And that's kind of the pattern here, is we're going to get some grounded Crimson, some more Crimson from the other side, and then some aerial. And I'm just going to keep an eye on Peacemaker ammo. Just one more, and we're set. Awesome. we're gonna make our way to Samos. He can take a hit. He's mean to Daxter, so he can take a few beatings for the boys. All right, we're gonna get our gun out because we're gonna get some aerial guys in a moment. And yeah, that's kind of just the rinse repeat. Once again, any donations, anything about the marathon you'd like to tell the audience, go right ahead, Benji.
Yeah, sure. I actually have a $10 donation from a Mr. Ben J. Lin. He sounds like a really handsome dude.
What a chat.
I know, right? And he says, Jack flying his hoverboard to the moon tells me that we should send this donation total to the moon.
Yeah, damn right.
Exactly. So our current donation total is $7,440.22 going to Beyond Blue right now. And you at home can do your part to make that number just go right to the moon. Beyond Blue does some fantastic work destigmatizing mental health and the issues surrounding it. And in these trying times, it really is important to focus in on your own mental health. And so I encourage anyone at home in chat, if you're struggling right now, because it's a hard time, reach out. There's always someone that's prepared to help.
Absolutely. So that's beautiful timing, by the way. That's the end of that little punch out. The reason it's important to not fail that is there's a checkpoint that's active for the beginning of this area, so I can mission warp back as long as I don't die or Samos doesn't die. If you do die, obviously you have to restart the mission, which is bad, and then you have to go all the way back to this platform from that point, and it's a finicky platform. Sometimes it just doesn't want to appear. I'm going to listen for my PS2 disc laser here, instead of using visual cue. Okay. We heard it. The area is loaded, we can warp. I just like showing that off. You can hear, like, if you listen to your PS2, it does a little, like, and that's how you know you can mission restart. Alright, so we're going to do a hover back in bounds here. This is going to be another ghost town. And I'm just going to do a few pauses, make sure we're good. Awesome. Now we're coming up onto another sort of intense part of the run. We're going to be trying not to die for a little while. So we're not going to be death abusing, and we're hopefully not going to be unintentionally dying. So we hit this wall, we reload in the bazaar, and we talk to our buddy Baruta, who gives us a mission to rescue some lurkers. Now, if you've watched the Jak I run, you kind of know that Jak has some reservations about lurkers, so we're just going to go ahead and stay in character and not really rescue them for the moment until it's a little more beneficial for Jak. So what we're doing, this is mission storage. As you can see on the right there, there's a number 6 underneath a picture of a lurker. This is audio descriptive commentary. But when we have this, we can actually go around on the map and enter other active missions. So we're going to go to the power station and start up a mission there. And while that mission is running, as long as we don't die, the game kind of remembers that we started rescue lurkers. What that means, as you can see, I'm driving quite a long way. If we keep this mission active, when I finish 2 missions at the power station, I can just hit restart mission, and it'll zip me all the way across the city. So it's really, really nice to get. But it just requires 2 missions of focus, basically. One of them is a pretty easy mission. It's just getting a comfy hover. And the other one is really boring until you start doing the escape, and then it's probably the second most intense thing to do in an 80% run quickly. So we'll see how I hold up. Nice little thing here, if you space correctly, you can jetboard in here slightly faster. Get to swag out near Vin. Good old Vin. Alright, so here's our first one. This is Crush Metalhead Eggs. But we're not gonna really do the intended route. They sort of want you to go on this big skateboard, you know, this big extreme skate adventure. But we can just kind of fly, so we're just gonna hover up. We're gonna hit ourselves a lovely little trigger, and then we're just gonna roll jump off. I'm gonna space that out because sometimes you can have your roll jump eaten and fall in the Ribena. We do not want to fall in the Ribena. Alright, so now we're going back, and this is the one that that really matters. This is like destroy something, I forget what it's called. Destroy command tower or whatever. We're basically gonna get in a mech, punch a bunch of computers to death, and make our way out before the tower self-destructs. So there's this wall, there's a lot of intended mech movement, but you can just kind of not do it. So there's this slope. As long as you keep moving, you can get around, pardon me, an invisible wall there, and park yourself up here. As you can see, the level below is loaded, and we will be able to get back in. We will have to go back in, and it just cuts out a lot of boring, tedious mech stuff. So it's lovely, very nice. Now, the reason we need the mech, it's, to my knowledge, the only thing that can destroy these computers, which is a bit of a shame because this thing is very cumbersome. There are a few things to make it comfier. If you walk right on the edge of these little barbecue flame pits, then you can avoid taking damage from them. We're going to hop out here. We're going to use the blaster to light up those little red thingos and kill those metalheads. So something about the mech that's kind of obnoxious, it has no, you can't really direct it fully when there are enemies on screen. So when there are multiple targets, I think it picks like something in the closest like range within a cone of vision around it or something like that. I don't really know. It's just bad. Whoever programmed this, I'm sorry. Why? Why do you hate us? So we're going to hope that we get good computer kills here, because there's going to be a lot of metalheads in the room, and there's a chance that you're going to see the mech just pivot and do a 180 and kind of own me. So here's to not having that happen. So once again, we got some mini barbecues here. Just going to walk on past them. Not even hard to do, by the way, so if you're playing the game casually, give it a try. Alright, so we have found the computer room. We're going to head on up, and fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Alright, so having a metalhead on you is actually good, because it means that your mech won't try to attack them. I'm going to try to keep them out of sight where I can. And there's an example of the forced lock-on that nobody likes. So we're just going to make our way around. Beat up these computers. It's all Microsoft equipment, that's why we've got to break it. This is the PlayStation Nation mission.
Let's go.
No Futurama runs anymore, boys.
Wait,
Broke the last Xbox. Alright. So now here's where things get intense. I could do this without getting off the jetboard, but really I'm just going to play this nice and safe, but try to go fast at the same time. I'm going to try to hit a balance here. So I'm going to wait for a good cycle here. See how we're doing. So when you take damage on the jetboard, it makes you hop. This can be bad because it can like eat your jump. Okay, good. This is a good start. So spacing really mattered. Damn it. Spacing really mattered. Unfortunate. So that means we're just going to be doing the drive back. A little bit sad. A little bit of a silly place to lose a life, but that's alright. We're just going to try to replicate this movement. Alright, maybe I should slow down a little, eh? Oh, I forgot in Japanese, they're saying, apply the brakes or you will automatically die. Of course. That's absolutely what was being said. Alright. So as you can see, you can sort of do these like little boosted jumps, and you can do like shorter hops on the jetboard. These are important, and it's sort of why I took 2 deaths there. A little unfortunate, but we'll manage. Thankfully we had a really solid foundation laid by the early missions, so it's nothing too concerning. Oh, we didn't get here above 50 seconds. For shame. Alright, now you can actually get in this teleporter nice and early. It's a different queue to what I usually do. I want to wait for this explosion ring to hit the outer edges of the screen, skip it, punch, and we're in. Nice, we got communicator skip. It's a little easier on Japanese as well, so there's a little bit of trickery there. A little bit of cinema magic. Alright, so we're going to be, unfortunately we've lost our mission storage. A little bit sad. We're going to just be eating that time loss, swallowing our pride, and driving on back to Buda. We'll hop on a zoomer. Thankfully they put one nearby. They gave me the pity zoomer. And we're just going to make our way back across. Once again, Benji, any donations? Anything you'd like to say about incentives?
Yeah, I'll talk about incentives for a minute. So
Awesome.
We have coming up is the Echo Junior character choice. That's a bid war. Currently, Echo is winning as a character name choice, but it's got a whole $10. So with a mere donation of $11, you could make it some other name. Silent Hill 2 is coming up after that, and it's a choice of endings. We've got Dog, UFO, and Standard. Dog's got a pretty healthy lead of $50, and I think before you were saying that Dog is your preferred Silent Hill 2
Yes.
ending.
It's a good one.
So we'll see what happens with that. We've got some Name the Gummy Shop for Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Final Mix. There's no name submitted for that yet, so if you have a name that you want to really see, make sure you submit that through. There's a glitch exhibition for Kingdom Hearts 1.5 final mix as well that is open, as well as just a pile of other incentives. I would really recommend when you go to get your donation in, there's a link in there to check the upcoming incentives and just check out what games are coming up and what incentives you may want to donate for.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, get donating, folks. Alright, so now we're actually finally doing Rescue Lurkers. A couple of things to note. They're being carried in these sort of like Crimson Guard paddy wagons, and once you hit them with a bullet, they sort of enter this panic state. And we can use this to our advantage in terms of like where they land when they explode. We can get lurkers to land near exit points, so we don't need to, you know, drive all of them home from kindergarten. So what we're going to do, we're going to hit this guy, make him speed up, hit him another 3 times. Now we have 4 hits, 1 more hit, and there you go. So this guy's just going to sort of see where we are, run towards me, and then he sort of notices the escape, the little pipe in the ground, and then he just runs towards that for me. They grow up so fast. So now we're just going to drive back across the city and basically rinse and repeat. We're just going to be rescuing lurkers, trying to get like 2-for-1s, where we just drop one in off from the car and get the other one to walk on home. But yeah, I think I finally hit a dead zone. Blue, how you doing?
Aren't you meant to punch those lurkers? Oh my gosh, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, I forgot the average Jak I runner doesn't know how to comprehend Jak II. We may run into a snag here, folks. You're not meant to fly, you need a flood for that.
Oh my gosh, get him off!
Okay, so we're near our next escape point here. Look at that. Oh, look at how far he bounced. That was lovely. That's kind of what you want to see. So yeah, there's a point where they sort of tether to you versus when they tether to the pipe, and when they're in a certain distance, they're just going to prioritize the pipe, which is nice. First of all, shoutouts to Ratchet and Clank. Shoutouts to our boy Benji right here.
Yeah,
Rack Runner in the house. There they are. And shoutouts to Water, which could ruin everything in a moment. All right, Water did not ruin everything. All right, I'll drink to that. So this is our second last lurker. Gonna take him around. Oh, I cut that corner a little too tight. That is a known RNG manipulation called hit the wall skip. You hit the wall and you skip saving time, instead losing time. Alright. This is a little unfortunate. I don't really like this.
Ooh.
That car in front of me, not a fan. Alright, I'm gonna just come back for that lurker. Yeah, it's very precarious when those things are near water. If a lurker touches water, it's over. So, and then you got to redo the whole mission.
I remember them like walking on lava before. Like what?
Yep. Now they just evaporate instantly. Alrighty. Thank God. All right, that's Rescue Lurkers. A little bit longer than we thought. Bit of a cheeky death when we were escaping the exploding towers. You know what is a run without some tension? So that is a great Japanese lurker, by the way. Alright, so now we're doing...
saying in Jak I, you gotta give in, sprinkle in some deaths so that it shows off just how hard the tricks are.
Exactly. You need to establish the stakes.
And worse,
it's
you're
all
just
part of
manipulating
the
the RNG, right?
Yeah, exactly. Manipulating it to lose time to prove a point. Alright. Now we're going for Class 1 lap skips. This is actually much easier than Class 2, so I'm setting precedent. If I die here, that'll be hilarious. As we can see, Errol is back from his coping session. He's got his racing mask on. It's directly hooked up to copium, so we got to be careful. He's on maximum coping skills right now. He's at top performance, so I'm sure he'll prove to be a formidable threat in this race. I'm just kidding. He sucks. So we're just gonna lap skip the hell out of him and make him even more sad. So right here, you line yourself up on the right side of the wall, kind of push yourself up, a hop, a boost, and a bit of direction in the air, and you're over. And that's it. It's really chill, really nice and easy. It's a nice power trip when you're this late in the run after getting done with Class 2 lap skips. It's kind of like, you know, now you get to really rub Errol's face in it. Just gonna head on over once again, set ourselves up, and there we go. Beautiful.
So these lap skips are easier to do than the ones you were doing earlier?
Much easier, yes. The visual cue is a lot easier to sort of direct yourself into, and there's a lot less, it's hard to explain on the fly, but there's a lot of stick movement that you sort of want to be paying attention to when you do a lap skip. and it's just easier here. You just kind of park yourself here, hit X bit, hold down boost, and you're over. Maybe throw in a hop if you're feeling cheeky. Quick shout out, by the way, I'm very bad at strat history with this game. I'm not like the best at naming names, but I do know that a big shout out goes to Headstrong for taking these lap skips, which were thought to be TAS only for a time, and making them viable. They're, they can be scary, but not as scary as initially thought. It's a bit of a janky lap skip. But yeah, so big shout outs to Headstrong for kind of establishing this this new era of lap skip chads. Alrighty. Grabbing ourselves our last boost. Coming up now. Boosting through the riffraff. Park ourselves on the... Okay, we're gonna... Look, Errol hit us with the copium. We're just gonna take it across the finish line. Alright, we're good. He had to get one lap skip from us, but now he's coping. He just ran into Dark Eco, which is just unrefined copium, as any Jak runner knows in the lore. What I did there, I hit the pause button before touching... before hitting getting on that zoomer. And the reason for that is we have that text that just showed up, which was basically saying, you have acquired the Palace Security Pass. For whatever reason, when you're just playing the game, you have to wait for that text to show up. And it just stops you from getting in, but if you pause, there's, when you unpause, you can kind of get that text prompt to get on the zoomer to show up. And, that was... I'm surprised this has gone as smoothly as it was. That was some sketchy traffic. But yeah, so nice little optimization. Helps you get away from the cuppers. So we're gonna be doing the same... Oh my goodness. Sketchy zoomer hops. Jak?
Oh.
Get on the zoomer, buddy. Alright. We're just gonna... do one. Preferably not have my double jump dropped. There we go. Alrighty. Took us a moment. But we've hit what we need to hit. So I'm going to be checkpoint warping ahead now. And doing the same thing that we did earlier, basically. Which is just hitting this checkpoint trigger here and restarting mission. So coming up is, again, like, another, I feel like, really iconic mission in terms of, like, set piece and like difficulty. This is when you go up into the Baron's Palace and fight a bunch of Crimson Guards in this like awesome industrial place, like kind of way up in the sky. Really cool. We're gonna do none of that. So you can skip it entirely by just getting back onto this elevator. There were some doors to our left, and that's actually the mission end point. So the beginning is the end, meaning if we just go back to the beginning after getting partway through, the mission is over. So we avoid a cutscene trigger here. If we hit the cutscene trigger and then skip through the mission, the game crashes, but it's a very easy cutscene trigger to avoid. And we're just going to hover up in this corner, go up a little bit higher just to be comfy, and we're going to get off, go to the left here, and we are out. So there's a few ways to get back around in there, but I just kind of like retracing my steps. Landing the elevator is a little sketchy, and we let that elevator go down a bit. I do anyways, just to make sure I don't hit restart too early. If you hit it too early, you actually restart, but the mission's still active down here. So, but we didn't do that, so we're good. Coming up, we're going straight into the heart of the Haven City Discord to defeat the Haven City Discord moderator, Crew. He's a hefty fellow, spends a lot of time on his PC. So we're going to be going after him. We're going to be, basically he banned Daxter, and it just wasn't very fair, so we're just going to get him back for it. We're going to get Daxter unbanned by defeating Crew and establishing ourselves as the Haven City Discord admins. This is, it's amazing that this game predicted the existence of Discord this long ago. But it is set in the future, so it makes perfect sense when you think about it. Alright, so coming up we actually do have a rather precise hover. And it sort of requires a count after passing a certain point. That setup looks kind of nice. I'm going to raise him up a bit. Alright, I'm just going to do a little count here in my head. If we're lucky, we can have visual cues. Okay, we have visual cues, so that's good. Okay, we got that. And we dismount. And we land. And we're at the very end of this entire mission. If anyone's ever done this casually, you know how frightening this whole thing can be. There's a lot of really powerful robots. There's a lot of guards. Speaking of guards, I'm just going to do this. Just in case. It's not nice having these guys mess with you when you're trying to go down through here. Going down through here activates a trigger so that if we go up here, there's a death plane active. If I die on this death plane, the game thinks I was in Crew's boss fight and fell to my death. So it's just going to say, hey, you died in crew, right? Well, here you are at crew, man. So there you go. Alrighty. Oh, he's nowhere near as wheezy in Japanese. This is great. I'm having a ball. real weeb jack hours. Alright, so what we want to do here, he's sending out his little avocado clones. And we're just going to take him out with the shotgun and get the worst camera ever for a moment. And then we're going to use the Peacemaker on him. And first phase, where's the last one? There he is. We're just going to shoot him to get phase 1 done. And in the second phase, we're going to be doing something called Peacemaker Storage. And that's going to allow us to do 2 phases in one go. And that's really important because these avocados, there are more every phase. So it starts with, like, I think 25, and then 30, and then 35. So you're cutting down a lot of kills on these things. So it's really nice to skip that phase. So what we're going to be doing is... Oh dear. We're going to be getting out the Peacemaker, jumping and spinning, and changing to the blaster. And then as we land, we're going to switch to the Peacemaker and hold R1. And I believe what this is doing... this is speculation. It's sort of doing the on-landing burst shot, but the Peacemaker doesn't do burst shots. So it sort of just stores shots for us to spam all at once. So we're going to do 2 on him. Jump up. Yep, there it is.
Beautiful.
And I'm just going to let him shoot his shots. Alright, my turn. Lovely. And it's over. The challenger is down for the count. Alright, we have now taken over the Haven City Discord, and we have entered the hardlock zone. Very, very scary. So from this point, the game's really likely to crash. Now, this might sound scary. In the context of a marathon run, it's not too bad, because every mission we have is now on just a linear path. It's just mission, mission, mission. It doesn't branch off anymore. So we can rest assured if anything goes wrong, we can bounce back. It's actually worse to crash like midway or early into the run. So it's nice to be past all of that. And now we're going to do Metalhead Mash, that's the name. Basically just whack-a-mole with Daxter. And it's just D-pad and face buttons. And this is where my dodgy D-pad is probably going to mess with me. Anything on the left side I mess up, I blame on the D-pad. Anything on the right side, that's all me. But we're looking to get, like, I think it's like 1,500 points, something like that. So there are 1 pound metalheads and 5 pound metalheads. But if you catch a red metalhead, you'll poison the whole darn catch. So we're going to try not to do that. That's not actually how it works. It just makes you miss a few shots at metalheads. Alrighty. And we're just chilling. Once again, I know I've asked a few times, but any more donations, anything you'd like to say about the marathon, Benji? Hop off, King.
Yeah, we have some donations.
Lovely.
And before I get to reading them, I just want to say we are $3 away from hitting $7,500. So for the price of a cup of coffee, which you shouldn't be going out and buying anyway in these lockdown times, you can round out that number for us. So get your donations in. But we have $36 from Michael, who says, "Great run so far. Much love from the US. I love these events, and this Jak II run has blown me away." So thank you, Michael, for that donation and those lovely words. And we have $10 from Oliver, who says, "Kingdom Hearts 1.5 gummy ship incentive, please, brum. Shout out to you guys for doing this. We love to see it." Thank you so very much, Oliver. So we are Oz Speedruns, and this event we're raising money for Beyond Blue, a charity promoting good mental health, so the raising of awareness and reducing of stigma around mental health. If you'd like to donate, go to donate.ozspeedruns.com or click the link in chat.
Wonderful. And also good timing. I can quickly explain underport skip. I'm going to open these doors wide. It'll trigger underport. Vin's going to scream to death. And I'm going to jump. Oh, hang on. That's good. That gives me more time to explain things. Jak tripped over. I'm going to be deloading Haven City and going straight down to the underport. This again skips an underwater mech section, which is just not fun. I want to let those doors open up all the way. Hold on. I'm rushing it. So I'm going to do a spin, a hop. Haven's gone. Down we go. Oh, just missed it. We're going to try that one again. It's an awesome trick. So I'm definitely going to go for outer underport skip. I do need to be careful when you do this. By the way, you can actually cause bad things to happen, but we're just gonna not do that. So
We don't speak of it.
yeah, we do not speak of it.
Ooh.
Oh, again. All right,
Ooh.
third time's the charm.
Shit. This is really important because the mech is very slow and water is very slow. And
Indeed.
when you put those two together, the two things that people don't like, you get yeah,
Just bad times. So it's worth going for this, even if we've got a bit of. You saw nothing. If I hit start there, the game crashes. That's actually just a bad state. So I didn't jump high enough, and I didn't have enough speed. My apologies. Look, what's a Jak II run without a crash, boys? Honestly.
Yeah.
We are
we're gonna
indeed
get
in
right
the
back
hard
into
lock zone.
We are in the hard lock zone, so you know what? That's okay. I'll take that on the chin. The game was pretty merciful with those underport attempts. All right. I'll set that language back to Japanese, and we'll be on our way.
It
And
just
turn
gives
on
us a chance
progressive
to
skin.
see the amazing PlayStation 2 loading menus. You
That's what
haven't
it's all
seen one of
about.
those in a while.
That is what it's all about.
That sound like the startup chime, that's just my childhood right there.
Beautiful stuff. Alrighty. A little tragic. We'll just get straight back into it. We got the lower pitch. Nihongo. Actually, I want to do something not stupid and fix that low pitch real quick. While I have English menus. Alright. What I may do is I may take us straight to SIG. I think that might be the play there. But there is basically an out-of-bounds hover. We do... Hang on. Oh, you get French for a moment. I'm just going to use English on the menus from here on out. So basically, once we get under there, we do a hover straight to the end. A little bit sad I can't show it off, but that's Jak II for you. We're going to go to Escort SIG. To make up for it, I'll try one cheeky trick in Escort SIG, and then we'll be back on top of it. Alrighty. We do have interesting ammo now as well. Oh god, and I have vibration on. Alright, I'm not going to risk anything with vibration. I am not a vibration fan. I'm sorry to all the Rumble fans in chat. So you can actually do a really awesome out-of-bounds hover here, but it's very precise. If I was a little comfier on time, maybe I'd give it a shot, but unfortunately we got owned by the underport. A rarity, but it happens. Oh, okay. We continue to get owned by the underport. Alright. Now I get to show off something else about SIG. If you actually get through this line fast enough, you skip that line there, which is what I did earlier. That time you got to hear it, so now you've got the full SIG experience. Isn't that just wonderful? Alright, so very important not to die in underport while escorting SIG, because you go back to the beginning. This is just a little bit scuffed, so we're just going to get through this. We'll just take this nice and easy. Soothe those nerves. Alrighty. So now we're through. Going to do another block puzzle here. And get through to the end here. Do one more chase sequence, which we're just going to take nice and easy. There's really no reason to rush these. SIG moves at a fixed speed, and you actually don't want to get too far ahead of the big centipede metalhead. We're just going to take it nice and chill through the rest of underport. And I'm avoiding uppercutting, because you can actually uppercut into geometry and fall off, and it bounces you back. So there's a noted absence of uppercuts. Alrighty.
Yeah, getting a backwards boosted can be very devastating.
Yeah. Alright, and that's the end of Underport with SIG, who is named as such for being the original Sigma male. He has fooled us into thinking he has died. That is just because he wants to go chill for a bit while Haven's having a riot. Alright, so
what?
after all that excitement of being chased by the monster from Tremors, we're gonna go and help some old men cross the street. Hooray!
What an exciting sounding mission. Do you
Oh,
mind
yes.
if I read a dono while you drive over there?
Please go right ahead.
Cool. Well, I want to say 7,500 hype. We have done it. We have crosted $7,500, which is amazing. Thank you all so very much. We have $36 from Anonymous, and this is a real touching donation message. I didn't realize Beyond Blue helps with mental health. We'll crest 7,500 on this one, and it's for Dimitri, a friend who recently committed suicide. Please put this towards the Hades Charon fight, a game he really enjoyed. And so I'm going to take a second and say, as I said earlier, that mental health is a real problem, and that you're never alone. And if you're out there and you're struggling, seek help. There's always someone somewhere who will help you. You don't have to go through these things alone.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else? We still have a bit of driving to go, if you like.
I'll just plug the marathon then.
By all means.
We're Oz Speedruns. We do speedrunning events to raise money for charity. For ASM 2021, we're raising money for Beyond Blue, a charity promoting good mental health through the raising awareness and reducing of the stigma around mental health issues. If you'd like to donate, go to donate.ozspeedruns.com or click the link in chat.
Awesome stuff. Alright, so we're nearly at the stadium. This is actually the one time we take the intended entrance. Now, Kira, if you remember, her garage was over on the left as we entered. So naturally, she decided to finish building the Rift Rider on the right. So now we've got to walk it all the way across the street. Thanks, Naughty Dog. Love ya. Now, the one interesting thing here is because I had to load a mission state as a backup, I'm going to need to prioritize keeping blaster ammo for the final boss, but we should be okay. Might lose a bit of time in that split. I say not having live split open, but what are we at? 160? Alright, we can might be able to scrounge up some ammo before then. But yeah, so what I do here is I mostly just look at the radar. As long as one of the Samos guys don't die, then you're good. You don't fail the mission, which is great. Not failing the mission is wonderful. And more importantly, if they both go down at the same time, this Rift Rider is moved more slowly, but if only one takes damage, it's actually not the end of the world. But hopefully neither of them will take damage, and we'll just be chilling. Oh, never mind, the old one took damage. That definitely wasn't intentional.
Are you sure?
But, look, I just don't like old Samos, he's just mean.
Look, you're just setting the RNG, right? Like, it helps with the later skip.
Exactly. It makes me better at hovers in the Metalhead nest.
Oh, okay, yeah, write that down.
Yeah, it's an exclusive one right there. we gotta set the RNG back to what we want after the hard lock. Alright, so we're nearly there. Nearly crossed the street. You can use the Vulcan Fury here, but I'm gonna be holding on to just as much ammo as I can that I can use at range for core. Just once again, because I've had to restart the system. Which, honestly, I'm almost glad that happened, because it's... What is Jak II without a crash?
This is true.
Alrighty, awesome. So, we're going to be grabbing a Crimson Guard Zoomer here. Oh, hang on. Important time loss has to be taken here.
Oh.
Much better, and I'm going to turn off vibration. Lovely. Oh, it's not going to change his line in time, though. So, the Crimson Guard Zoomer is kind of like the lucky Zoomer to take here, because once again, we are still in the hard lock zone. We are out of the frying pan and into the fire. I believe when you get to construction site, if there are basically too many NPCs around, the game just struggles, like, deloading them all at once, I think is what goes on there. There may be another Jak community member in the chat with the science. But basically, crash bad, don't crash game. So that's going to be my goal here. So we're going to make our way through to the construction site, where old mate Mr. Krabs, he's actually going to save us from Core, the real villain of the story. Basically, the moral of Jak II is sometimes bug stinky and scary. So there you go. That's the nuanced story condensed into a sentence for you. So yeah, we're just going to move on through and pay attention to the minimap, and hope we do alright.
Jeez, that minimap is full.
Yeah, it's chock-a-block. Alrighty. It's just kind of... It's just that tension, you know? Again, what is a speedrun without tension? Alrighty. Classic marathon nerves. Alrighty, so we're getting close, and I'm just gonna take it easy. Alright, we should be okay. Cool. Yeah, we're okay. Whew. Alrighty. Now we're going to leave the construction site, and again, I'm just going to be nice and methodical here. And then we just got a couple more hovers to go, and we're on the final boss.
A cool thing to note is that the beta versions of Jak II, you could actually skip everything that you
Yes.
saw just now and go straight to here and then do the last couple of missions to finish the game.
That's right.
But just at the end, they put flags up, so there's a lot of things that could be skipped in the beta that can't be skipped now, unfortunately. Really cool knowledge.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's actually been a few runs on the boards of the beta version, so it's pretty cool. Alrighty, so we hover out of bounds here, and we hit ourselves another one of those lovely Haven checkpoint triggers. And there's no ammo around here, is there? No. I might grab a bit of ammo at the Metalhead Nest to try to stock up the blaster as much as I can. Blaster shots are really good against core, and we want to have as much blaster ammo as we can get our hands on. So I know there's a little bit of ammo here. Okay, that's helped a little bit. Alright. Yeah, 180. Awesome. So, lightning can cause lag, which can make us drop hovers. Didn't drop the hover. Lovely. So we're going to do another hover here. Over this chasm. Oh, dropped it. Okay, thankfully, respawning's just a quick hop and a skip away. Oh my goodness. The marathon nerves blew. They're striking. Right. There we go. We're over the chasm, boys.
Let's go!
Alright, you know what? I'm not feeling ballsy enough for this hover. I'm not throwing it away on that little on that one. Alright, so we're gonna see Dark Jak for just a little moment. Alright, he's gone. Screw Dark Jak, we don't need him. And we're just gonna do jump spin, landing shot, and just beat the stuffing out of core here. Time will be coming up on last hit. So yeah, we turn the camera around here because it stops him from spawning little flying metalheads, which are obviously a nuisance. So we get those out of the way. I do not like this health at all. Okay, he's down. What I want to do now is kind of manip what he's doing by moving a certain way. So what a bro, he's just opened all the boxes for me. So we have some ammo. And when he does those crouch attacks, he's actually invincible, so I'm gonna ammo up. That is the bad attack. Ammo up some more.
Here we go.
Oh my goodness, Core, quit it, buddy. We've sort of lost the manip here to get that ammo. Alright, and time. Oh, we cut that close with the hard lock, I tell you what. Look, tension is the word of the day, boys. Well, that's Jak II 80%. Look, it's a little scuffed, but that's how it goes. Lovely. Well, real quick shout out to the whole Jak community. You guys rule. You guys were all really welcoming. I've learned a lot through you guys. This game is really fun to run. Speedrun.com/JAK2. You got all the resources there, Discord link, and a few more quick shout outs. My boy Blue, Wotan, also members of the Jak community, great guys, give them a follow. And also shout outs to the Nivea Gang, TVB, The Collection, love you guys. That'd be it from... Oh, and of course, ASM and the tech team, the unseen heroes of this marathon. Club Who, Benji for the host, everyone.